go to Suzanne out in Spokane. Hey, what's up, Suzanne?
Hi there.
Hi there. How's it going?
I just love that it rhymes. Suzanne and Spokane. It just made me happy. It's good to have you, Suzanne. How can we help?
Yeah. Good. Thank you guys so much for taking my call.
You got it. What's up?
So this is basically what I've got. So my husband and I, we moved up. We're actually in the North Idaho area, so we're just kind of over the border from Spokane.
Okay.
We moved here really unexpectedly last year after my husband lost his job, and it just ended up being such a blessing. He got a job up here, and we absolutely love it. And we don't want to leave. We're closer to family now, and he got a good job here. He's been able to start a business, so he's actually working 2 jobs. And I am a stay-at-home mom now. We've got 2 baby girls.
Congrats.
And so, thank you. So it's really expensive here. That's one thing we didn't know. We didn't know the area that well, but we love it, so we're determined to stay here.
Okay.
And we were actually able to pay off all of our debt last month.
Wow, congratulations.
Super exciting. Yeah, so in the midst of COVID and babies and this move and everything, we still managed to pay off our debt, so we own our vehicles, all that. And we're in a rental, but we've decided that we want to go ahead and buy, even though this market is really crazy and it's really expensive here.
Mm-hmm.
But we figured since we're debt-free, we can go ahead and pull the trigger and do it. So we're in the middle of purchasing a place that we found.
So you already have a contract out?
Yes, we do. We close here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is expensive, and we know that, we had started with a budget that was a bit lower, and we decided to go higher because we found this great property, and it just seems like a wonderful place to raise children. And since we're dedicated to staying in the area, we wanted to do it. So
you've laid the groundwork to justify not making a smart decision. Is that what happened?
Am I questioning the decision?
Yeah, you've laid the groundwork to have possibly made a not great financial decision.
It sounds like there's a lot of emotion behind this, of just excitement about getting in a house and all this. So give us some details about the financial aspect.
Yeah. So when we first started looking, so we've been looking for months and months with our realtor, and we didn't have a super firm budget in mind, but we decided around the 450 mark we didn't want to go much over that. We felt we could really afford that and still be able to save money. But in this market and in this area where we live, what you can get for 450 just doesn't even seem worth it. These aren't even really starter homes. They're not even really fixer-uppers. And we just found that nothing in that price range we were willing to go for. So we decided that we wanted to not only do a house, but get some property since we've got little kids. So we ended up finding something, but it's about $100,000 more.
So 550
than we initially started. Yeah. So now we're in the 550 range.
And how much are you guys putting as the down payment? What percent?
Well, we aren't, because we're both veterans. So we're going through a VA loan. So we aren't actually putting anything down.
Ooh. Okay. What's your take home?
Yeah, so we are going to finance the whole thing, which puts us at about a $2,500 a month mortgage.
On a 30-year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suzanne, all right, what's your question? You're getting us all fired up
I'm
here.
getting riled up, Suzanne.
Yes.
How can we
I
help?
know. Well, that's what I was.
I don't know if we can help. You're
for.
knee deep in this thing. If I'm you, I'm getting out of this thing if there's still time.
But you've already signed a contract. So what's your question?
Well, my question is, should we focus on saving money? Because, we're in this, we're going to be paying this mortgage. Should we be saving money and focusing on that? Or should we focus the extra money that we have every month towards this mortgage and get it down?
You should have focused it before you ever got in this contract and had a healthy down payment on a 15-year. That's what I would feel better about. I don't love this idea of you guys getting out of debt and then taking on over $500,000 on a mortgage and thinking that they're doing you a favor by giving you the VA loan. And is that not a big part of your take-home pay?
What is your take-home pay?
It is. Right now, we've got several different sources of income.
What's the total? Here's what's happened, Suzanne. You have created a universe that you want to have. You want to be in this area. You want your kids in this area Well, our kids need to go ahead and have this too. So you created that as well. And you've
Right.
created a really fungible, flexible dollar amount. We just got a lot of money coming from this place and that place and this place. And here's what you've done. You've created a cloud that allows you to, A, not see very clearly and not have to see very clearly, which allows you to live in a fantasy. And now you've zeroed down in one of the, if not the hottest real estate markets of all time. So it takes a teeny tiny correction, and you are underwater in a $500,000 house, working side jobs that are, we kind of make this, and suddenly this zeroed down VA loan is a nightmare because you're underwater and you can't get out. So tell me how much money you make. How much money comes into the Suzanne and Company home every month?
About my husband's business is tough. We can't because it's a new business, but about $100,000 a year right now.
Is that take home pay or is that gross?
Yeah,
that's take home. So you're taking home about $8,000, right?
Right.
And your mortgage is going to be over about 31% of your take-home pay is going towards the mortgage, and that's on a 30-year, which we never, ever, ever recommend. We always tell people to do the 15-year fixed rate.
But you're here, right?
But we're here. Suzanne, how old are you guys?
35 and 37.
Okay. You've got a lot of life to live, and I want to see you live it, and I don't want to see you drowning in this giant mortgage payment with nothing down. I've just talked to too many people, heard too many stories, and they start out like yours. Starry-eyed about the housing market and wanting to get in, and we want the property, we got to have the yard, and the budget's flexible, and we're not putting anything down, and all of a sudden they can't breathe. Yeah. And we get calls, I'm sure we'll take one during this show, where someone calls in and says, we're in over our head, we put nothing down on this house, and we're drowning. And so if there's time to get out, I mean, it's just...
You signed the contract, so you signed the contract.
I don't know what the situation is there. If you're stuck with this thing, you may want to look at increasing income, refinancing to a 15-year, and making sure that you can afford it. But as far as paying down the mortgage, I mean, it's a little late for that conversation because we're knee-deep in this thing. But we recommend 10 to 20% down to avoid PMI or more on a 15-year, where the mortgage payment is no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. So far, every one of the rules has been broken, which just hurts my heart because I want to see you guys win. And you've worked so hard to get to this point where you're debt-free and you're making these decisions, and I don't want to see you step backwards and make a bad financial decision for your future.
But if you're here, to answer your question, yes, I would treat the 20% down as the new gazelle intensity. I wouldn't save money. I would sprint and get some sort of cushion underneath your feet.
And make sure you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months before you do any of this.
Before you start saving anything, right? You're underwater and y'all got to get your head above water first. Get 20% down on that house, pay it down, and get an emergency fund.